Welcome to Nothing But Net, here with Ferrum College Basketball. I'm Taylor Chitwood, your host, alongside
Tyler Sanborn.
And Coach, up and down season so far, 3-9 overall. Of course, 1-3 in the conference. That one win was a big win here at home. Home opener in the conference against Averett, won in double overtime there, and a complete performance by the team. Go ahead, just take me through that one. Home opener of your first season here, your first conference season.
Yeah, I mean, Averett was a great win for us. I thought it was a complete game, like you mentioned. Our guys really, they're really consistent and played really hard throughout the whole game. It was continuous effort, and I thought we executed well offensively and defensively, and allowed us to be in the game at the end. And obviously, they forced a couple overtimes, and we tried to give it away a couple times, but ended up, fighting back and being able to pull it out, which was obviously kind of shows what we can do if we have continuous effort and consistent effort in every game, in every possession of every game.
That's a big game there for a lot of our freshmen that we have to rely on, coming off the bench, playing a lot of minutes, especially with a few injuries down the road that, we didn't expect to pick up. We don't like to pick up. But, that's a great game to just be thrown in the fire and say, hey, it's best team in the conference. We have them here. You don't have to tell anybody how big a game that is. It is Averett, down 29, Danville, Virginia. Not very liked, to say the least. And it's a good USA South rivalry. It goes back a good while, and a lot of good games. It's men's side and women's side, no matter what sport it is, it's a great back and forth either way. But again, after Averett, tough stretch here, especially right here in the middle of it, as NC Wesleyan a few nights ago away there. That's always a really big gym and a lot of turnout there.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a tough game going down there. Obviously, it's also kind of a rivalry for us. They had a great crowd. Great atmosphere, very athletic, very complete team, great size, great guards, great wings. I was really impressed by their personnel. I thought we battled, played hard. There was like a little bit of a court issue where there was some moisture on the court and we got delayed for a few minutes there, which obviously kind of threw a kink into what we were doing. Coming back after we resumed play, they kind of just separated themselves and were able to pull it out. But that's a tough road game for us, going down the same day, 3.5-hour road trip. I thought our guys showed up with energy and played hard, but we just didn't execute well enough offensively. We did not do the things we're supposed to do defensively to be able to win that basketball game.
How is it being at the head of the Panthers den, and to lead the program like this, and to find the adversity here in your first season, and to continue to stay positive as our team has done so great. We've stayed so positive through it all and continued to fight. It doesn't matter the score on the scoreboard, whether we're up 20 or down 20. We continue to fight. We continue to play hard. So that's a great standard. That's something to be especially proud of. So take me through first season.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating for me because my expectation is to win, and I want to win. And obviously, we're not having the success that I would like to have right now. I think ultimately that comes down to consistency and guys adapting to the culture of what we're trying to do. We have a lot of guys that come in and certain days they don't practice as hard as they can, and we'll have some days we might have 75% of our team there. Some days we might have one guy missing, and what that does is it sets us back. And until we can get that consistent effort every single day into us trying to get better, unfortunately we're going to start seeing the same results and keep seeing the same results until we have that maturity level grow within our whole team, starting from the senior leaders. We're going to continue to battle adversity. But I know that we're capable of winning games in this conference and beating good teams as we did against Averett. But we have to have that level of focus daily, and obviously, a complete buy-in to every single possession of every single game.
What's it like to have a very, very experienced starting lineup? And then, on the bench play, the people that have to come off and pick up minutes, they're very unexperienced. I take that back. I would say they're very experienced as of now through the stretch of the USA South. But what's it like to be able to rely on guys that have been there before, that have done it, and then to say, hey, I need you to go in for guy that's played for 4 years. I need you to go in and do exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think our upperclassmen have done a decent job of leading, but like I said, the consistency is not there daily. And I think our younger players have bought into what we're doing completely. They show up and they work hard, and they're getting their opportunities to play. And that's a credit to them, to being able to fight through adversity, practice hard every single day, do exactly what I'm asking them to do. When they come in, they provide good minutes for us. And right now they're just not where they need to be as basketball players to be able to compete at the highest level in this conference. And we're working hard towards getting to that. It's a process, man. I knew that coming into this job, that it would be difficult at times. But what I'm trying to develop is a culture of getting better, and that's going to be one day at a time, one practice at a time, one rep at a time, and we're trying to break that down. I think guys don't understand that as well as I would like for them to. And I think we're starting to work towards that, and we'll do it from time to time, day to day. But like I said, the consistency is not there yet, and until we reach that consistency, we're going to continue to struggle. But I think that we're making progress on that, and hopefully down the stretch we're going to be able to really focus in on the details of what we do and get better at those.
Coach, looking at some stats, a very balanced score, and we have 4 players averaging in double figures, and not a big drop off after that. The next 3 players listed 7-7, 7-2, 6-3 with Helton, Turner, and Grimard. Very balanced scoring from your guards, from your big men. That's something to look to be positive about as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of what I envisioned with the offense that we're running. I thought that we would be able to be balanced. I think we have some guys that can score the basketball. I just don't think that we can rely on 1 or 2 guys to really do it all for us. When I came in, I really envisioned some balanced scoring, which we've done pretty well. I thought some guys would be doing a little bit better than what they are, but that's part of basketball. Injuries and different things come into play, and some guys aren't able to perform as well as they have in the past, and which is unfortunate. But this is part of the game, and hopefully moving forward we can continue with the balance and get everybody going on the same page. I think there's been a lot of games where one guy will step up and have a big game, but the rest of the guys kind of fade back into the background and don't play as well and don't play as consistent. So once we get everybody on the same page, scoring, defending and doing the things that we do, I think that we should be competitive with the teams that we're playing.
Coach, we're very much a home team. We like to play at home, and we're very much a second half team here at home. Sometimes we dig ourselves in a little bit of holes, but again, we got to credit that the consistency of the upperclassmen and the willingness of the underclassmen to continue fighting and come out of those holes, and that's got to be a positive as well.
Yeah, I mean that's been the biggest thing that we've been trying to work on, recently, is trying to not get ourselves into those holes and come out with a high level of focus, high level of energy, high level of discipline in what we do, and we just can't continue to do that because it's hard to fight back into games, especially when your margin of error is really small. So we're trying to improve that. I think we've done better in the last couple of games, but it's a daily battle for us. Coming to practice, what do you do in your first drill? How do you react to your first drill? Are you there just to go through the motions, or are you there to get better? Are you there to take those reps seriously? So I think it's something that again, the maturity level has to improve, and it starts, like I said, with the seniors and the captains, and making sure that they understand how important it is to get your team off to a good start.
Another good thing to look at. We've been talking about people coming off the bench and replacing, when we have to be, and doing what they have to do. And another big name there, Chase Woodard, doesn't score a whole lot, coming in not even averaging a point a game, but he handles the ball well when Mullen needs a break, because Mullen very much is the center fielder of the team. He calls the offense, he runs the offense. He's been there, he's been through it all. But again, we talk about the difference in the upperclassmen and the underclassmen. What's it like to put a guard in there like Woodard, who doesn't really score a whole lot? Mullen likes to score when the opportunity's there. Woodard is one of those guys that keeps the ball moving.
Yeah.
So what's it like to completely change the mindset in the offense?
Yeah, Chase has done a good job of coming in and being able to control the tempo of the game for us. We put him in there with Dre sometimes and let him run the one because he's so unselfish. He's intelligent defensively. He tries to make the right play. Right now, I think he forces a little bit too much. Tries to make the home run pass when really what we need is just to continue running our offense, and we'll get an even better shot later in the shot clock. And trying to help him understand that is the hard thing right now. In high school, he was a heck of a scorer. So I think he'll develop into that here as well. He's just getting adjusted to the speed of the game and to where he's going to get his shots, and being confident in making shots. And I think he'll do that towards the end of the season and going into the rest of his career here.
Moving forward, as we look forward to playing Pfeiffer again at Pfeiffer this time, what's it like to come up with a game plan for a game like that, where you're going to have to run for the whole 40 minutes, and it's a 15 against 8 matchup?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a game where you're sitting in your office kind of trying to figure out a game plan to beat a specific team, when you really should be figuring out how to stay consistent in what you do. I think you have to adjust, obviously, to what their defense does, but defensively, I think we should continue to work on what we work on, and and try and for me to be, uncompromising in what I believe in, and making our guys understand that it works. We just have to do it the right way. So it's a difficult game. They're really talented. They're deep. They're fast. They turn you over. They drive and kick and shoot wide open shots. I mean, it's tough to defend, but we have to stay consistent in what we do.
Now, that's a little bit of a new opponent here for Ferrum, as they have made the move to the Division III in the USA South. So, what's it like in the locker room with your upperclassmen, the players that have played most of these teams that we're playing in the season, 2, 3, 4 times, if not 7, 8 times.
Yeah.
So, what's it like to hear the conversation there that you're kind of all freshmen at that night, because you don't know what to expect? I mean, of course, we have played them once. We've never been to Pfeiffer, they've never been to Pfeiffer. So it's a new atmosphere as well. So what's it like? What's the conversation there?
Heck, it's like I'm a freshman too for a lot of these games, because I haven't played most of these USA South teams in my whole career, because I played in ODAC, obviously coached in ODAC. So it's new for me too, so which provides a new perspective into game planning for opponents, because I'm very familiar with all the ODAC teams and their players and their personnel and their coaches and their style. And the USA South is totally different, which has been a good experience for me, just to kind of relearn how to prepare and scout opponents, and trying to teach our guys what they do, their tendencies. So going into this game, obviously, them coming down from D2, they have good personnel. They're fast, they're strong, they're aggressive. So trying to teach our guys and what they do and how they do it and how we can be successful against it is the biggest thing for us.
What's it like to know that we are moving into the ODAC next year, and that's a little bit more of a home to you, as you just mentioned? What's the thought process there? Of course, you don't want to look ahead. We don't want to, we still have a season to play, and a very competitive season to play. The season's not over by no means, and we can still. There's a lot to be learned, and there's a lot to still be played. But what's it like to kind of know in the back of your head that we will be making a jump next year?
Yeah, I think it's just a higher level of comfort for me. Like I said, going against teams that I know their personnel for the most part. I probably recruit against a lot of those teams. I know their coaches and the style they like to play. I know their plays. So it's, like I said, it's a higher level of comfort. I think the level of basketball goes up. I think they're going to be somewhat more talented. I think the USA South, the parity is very good from top to bottom. You're going to have a battle in every single game. I think the ODAC's a little bit more top heavy, where there's better teams in the top four. But like I said, I think the level of comfort for me will go up, and understanding our opponents better. But obviously that doesn't guarantee success or anything like that. So but for the most part for us, it expands the profile of our athletic department as a whole, I think, and it allows us to recruit more locally, and we're going to play teams with more with a bigger name, like the Roanoke's, the W&Ls, the Hampton Sydneys, the Emory Henrys, the Randolph Macons, the Virginia Wesleyans. I mean, those schools have a lot more name recognitions around here, which helps you get in the door, get your foot in the door with more recruits, and helps build a bigger fan base to me.
What's it like with the players? A lot of the freshman players that are, even the returners that, they play ODAC teams here in the non-conference schedule. Mm-hmm. They have a little bit of familiarity, and the freshmen as well. Being able to play them once, twice.
Yep.
So what's the atmosphere with the players? Are they looking forward to it? Are they keeping an open mind? What's it like there?
Yeah, I think they're looking forward to it. I think, like I said, like the logistics of it all, like, you're obviously going to play teams that are closer, and that helps with travel. You're not going as far. You're not spending as many nights on the road. We had a very difficult non-conference schedule. We played, obviously, at Lynchburg, which is a very good team, at Randolph-Macon, Emory Henry at home, who's 13-1, who's had a freaking really good year. At Bridgewater, who just beat Guilford, and at W&L, who's had a really good season. They were 5-0 until they played Randolph-Macon this past weekend. So the non-conference has really prepared us and let our guys know what to expect for next year. So there should be no excuses coming into the season and not being as ready as they can be. So I think that our players are excited. They know that the level is a little bit better and more consistent. So. I think moving forward, it's going to motivate them more to be better and get better. So,
well, Coach, I appreciate you for joining me here today. Again, as we look forward to Pfeiffer, going to Pfeiffer, good luck in that game, and we're excited to see how that one plays out. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.